What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to episode 41 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. I am your host, El Murpho, joined by the other co-host. I am a co-host, not a host.
DMurph.
And I actually will not be a co-host after this week for about 3 weeks. Actually 3 weeks exactly, because I believe 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's going to be gone for like 4 weeks for now, and then in 2020 he's going to be gone for good. He's going to start doing preliminary stuff for an XFL podcast he's going to be leaving here to do, and then when that comes up, he's going to go do that.
Why would you wish that upon me?
I'm not wishing that, it's just what's going to happen.
No, it's not. That's not what's happening. I actually, for those of you who do not know, who are not aware, I currently work for NBC for sports. For their for Olympics. That's EA. You're dumb. So I'm the social media manager for the NBC Olympics accounts, and thus with the Olympics happening on February 8th, I am being put as of Monday. I'm being put up in a hotel near the office because my commute is very long. That way, I don't have to worry about the long commute and potential severe lack of sleep from all the amazing, incredible hours I'm going to be working. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a challenge. I'm not trying to be sarcastic about how tough it's going to be or how enthusiastic I am. It's going to be hard and difficult, but because I'm going to be near the office and not here, I'm not going to be able to do my take on my co-hosting duties here on the Super Grapple Bros podcast, or even do any gameplay live streams on Twitch. So my Twitch channel, which we host the live streams of Super Grapple Bros on, is going to be a little dormant for the month of February. From February 5th until the 25th, I will be working. I get out of work on the 26th. I have the 26th off. That's my first day off after this coming Monday. So 21 straight days. And then I have to check out of my hotel and come home. There's a lot of stuff I'll do. So I might be doing a gameplay stream on the 26th or the 27th. I will not be doing a Super Grapple Bros until the weekend following that date, which I believe will be March 3rd or 4th, I think.
Something like that.
It will be that Friday or Saturday. So you guys will not see me for about 4 weeks. DMurph, however, will be trying to get episodes in on his own. He's going to come here. He's been taught all the setup, and then he's going to potentially bring our buddy Chris, who you saw in our Royal Rumble reaction live stream that we did on Twitch. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. It's about 4 hours long, so we don't mind if you pick and choose and jump around to see our reactions to things. But yeah, I went over to DMurph's place, and I live streamed us reacting to the show on my phone with a little tripod that I use for the gameplay streams. Yeah, and it was a good one. It was a very good Royal Rumble. Speaking of that, we're going to be getting into that. We're going to be reviewing that. We're going to be reviewing TakeOver Philly. And then we're going to go into the typical, this stuff happened in wrestling this week, and this stuff happened in the video games this week, because we are a podcast of two brothers who are former WWE employees that enjoy the wrestling and the video games.
So let's get going.
Yes, let's get going. We're going to start things off with NXT TakeOver Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And
the first match of the show was one of my favorites of the show, Undisputed Era defending the NXT Tag Team titles against the Authors of Pain.
Well, before we get into that, I wanted to toss to you to get sentiments on the show as a whole first.
Oh. Well, the show as a whole, I thoroughly enjoyed. I think it's one of the best takeovers we've had in a while.
I feel like people say that after almost every takeover.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say like the last takeover was pretty good, but I feel like this one was better than that. The only thing that I think was a little on the weaker side was Velveteen and Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, that kind of underwhelmed. It seemed awkward, like they didn't really gel or mesh well. Yeah. They didn't have great chemistry together.
It seemed like they didn't really have much time to talk it out and everything beforehand, so it just seemed kind of rushed. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I thought the show was very good. Especially when you consider all the other stuff that's happened this week on NXT that was shot as more or less the pre-show of that show.
Yeah.
Show in general.
The in-arena pre-show. Yeah. But I think it was a great takeover. Like, I'm not taking away from anything. I just like to point out the fact that almost every single takeover we have this conversation of it. I think it's the best takeover ever.
Well, what I'm saying with this is like comparing matches, like Gargano versus Almas. You're gonna tell me that wasn't better than Almost versus McIntyre?
Yes, but War Games also had the War Games match, and it
True.
also had wasn't it? And then it had that women's title match with
The Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, the Fatal 4-Way, which was really good. So like, and it also had Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, the McIntyre versus Almas was okay, but that was the weak link in that one. And there's other takeovers where there have been great matches, like the takeover where Shinsuke debuted.
True.
That one was awesome.
All right, let me rephrase this. This one exceeded my expectations more than other takeovers would have, because I was expecting Garganos and Almas to be very good. I didn't expect it to be that.
No,
good.
It was pretty damn amazing.
I was expecting Undisputed Era versus Authors of Pain to be, decent, and that match was a lot better than I thought it was. Overall, this show was much better than I was expecting. So
yeah, I really loved it. I don't know, it exceeded my expectations too. I just don't want to. I'm trying to break the habit myself of almost every single takeover saying this was the best takeover ever, because I feel like we say it every single time.
I don't think it was the best one ever, but it was definitely a good one. And like I said, I enjoyed the show overall.
It set a very good precedent for NXT in the year 2018.
Yes, it did.
So, all right, now individual matches. You were talking about the tag match.
Yes. Undisputed Era defending their tag titles against the Authors of Pain. I really like the match. I love the fact that
I loved the psychology.
Yeah.
It was actually, honestly, until the main event, I think it was like my favorite match so far. Like potentially even more so than Adam Cole versus Aleister Black, which was also phenomenal.
Yeah.
But like I feel like Authors of Pain, I feel like they've been protected. They've been seen as, I felt they've always been kind of green since they came into NXT, and yeah, I've seen them slowly develop, but like in the last couple takeovers where you've seen them perform, they haven't been the only tag team in the match.
Yeah.
So War Games they did well, but it wasn't. But they were in there with also like 9 or 10 other people.
Yeah, they were in there with Sanity and Undisputed Era and Roderick Strong.
Yeah, so it was like how well have they improved, but on their own. This was, I think, the first match that proved yes, Authors of Pain are finally it's finally clicked, and I feel like everything's now working and going full steam with them, and they finally figured everything out, and like. This was, they know what they can do well. They know that what they can't do well. They know how to work with each other. They know how to work with their opponents. And I feel like this was like a perfect, showcase of Authors of Pain as a finally complete and 100% like having everything tag team. So
not only that, but also with this match, I loved how they showcased how good of a tag team Undisputed Era is, where they're facing guys who are bigger than them, just dominating them, and they spot one weakness and they take full.
That's the other thing I love the psychology of the match, because they targeted. I can't remember if it was Akam or Razor. It was Akam, where they targeted Akam's leg. And it basically, like, the entire match, like they played into it. He kept selling it. He kept honoring it. And then, like, it ended up playing into a factor into the finish, where they went for the Super Collider, and his leg kind of he kind of stumbled because of his bad leg. And then he got rolled up on the bad leg.
Yep.
Which was great. Perfect. Yeah. I loved it. I am a huge sucker for
well thought out finish
for good psychology.
Yeah,
I'm a very big sucker for good smart psychology and telling a really good story in your match, and that's exactly what they did here. Plus the wrestling itself was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really good overall. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Highly recommend.
Yes.
And then the match after that was Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno, where Velveteen Dream said that he would knock out Cassius Ohno in 30 seconds.
He kind of did.
He knocked him down.
Yeah.
Within the first 30 seconds.
And then he thought it was a boxing match and then celebrated, which I thought was funny.
The ref count to 10.
Funny, but weird and confusing at the same time.
Yeah. I thought it was good, and then I liked how Cassius literally knocked his mouth guard out of his mouth right after that.
Yeah, beat the crap out of him after that. Yeah. That was a good moment. After that,
it was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't a bad match
it could have
per se. The ending got a little sloppy there, but
yeah, I don't understand why he went to the top of the post, because that just made.
I think that's cool. I think Velveteen Dream. I feel like he does that because nobody else does it. It makes his elbow drop more unique.
Well, that's the first time he's done it. from the top of the post. The top rope, he's done several times, but the top of the post...
He didn't do it off the top post against Aleister Black? I could have sworn he did it off the top post against Aleister Black.
No, he did it off the top rope. But, like, I wouldn't mind it if it was something like Cassius Ohno was closer, where he'd be able to get... It's a little bit extra height, so he'd be able to get extra height on it. But he left Cassius, like, on the other side of the ring, so he had to jump out with it, which is what bothered me about that. But, I mean, it still looked good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the match overall wasn't that great. And one thing I want to point out, I like Velveteen Dream. He's really good. The charisma is good. They keep going on with the announcers and him in his interviews talking about how great he is and how he's better than everyone else. And it's, okay, you've beaten a lot of jobbers, but at this point now, the 3 biggest matches in his career so far, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, and Cassius Ohno, he's been talking trash saying that he's one of the best. And he just won the match against Cassius Ohno. Like, that's the one thing that bothered me about it. Is like, psychology-wise with the ring announcers, yeah, he's very impressive and he's very good. But, I mean, storyline-wise and everything, he really hasn't won a big match yet. And he's finally won one now, which, yeah, good for him. But he kept talking about how great he was against Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. It's, yeah, but kayfabe, you lost.
But also look at the caliber of competitor he's battling. He's battling
no, I understand.
2 guys, one guy who will be NXT champion eventually, and another guy who just had a 5-star match for the NXT championship. So it's like, he can brag about going the distance against those guys.
No, I can understand that, but he was making it seem like he was better than everyone else because he did so well against them. It's, well, you know, Cassius Ohno did the same thing with Johnny Gargano. He had, I think, a better match with Johnny Gargano than Velveteen Dream had. Not saying that they had a bad match, but it's just one little thing that was like, okay, yeah, you don't have to talk. Like, I can understand talking about it, but they were focusing on it a little much.
It's part of his gimmick. He's supposed to be arrogant and overconfident.
I'm talking about the announcers. But anyway.
They're trying to build him up. They're trying to make him a star. Yeah. By the way, good morning to Big Stupid. How's it going? Welcome into the chat. What was next after that one?
After that,
Velveteen Dream and Cassius Ohno.
Women's title match.
Yes, it was.
Of Ember Moon defending her title against Shayna Baszler.
And I just want to revel in the fact that this is, I think, the one prediction that I got right over
yeah,
you.
The one.
I got destroyed in predictions this week because I think my biggest downfall this month for Royal Rumble is I was trying more to be a contrarian and pick against your picks as opposed to just going with who I thought was going to win. And I think it would have been a much closer predictions thing if I actually just stuck with what I normally do.
But I mean, to be fair, if you time me, you don't win the title, so you kind of do have to do that.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so tricky.
I also say that because Ember Moon was going to be my pick all the way, and you had Shayna Baszler, so I was like, damn it.
Yeah. I was thinking Shayna was going to get the win because they seem like they're just strapping a rocket to her. But
yeah, but I feel like NXT is different from the main roster where they're not... If somebody comes in from outside and they're not an indie darling, they're not going to throw the title on them.
She's been on the indies for a while.
But she's not an indie darling.
Kind of, yeah.
Like Drew McIntyre, he's an indie darling. He's a former WWE person, but when he came in, he was an indie darling. Kevin Owens, indie darling. Shinsuke, indie darling. Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor, indie darling. Sami Zayn, indie darling.
But
Neville, indie darling.
You do have some exceptions, like Authors of Pain weren't indie darlings, and they came in and they wrecked house and won the title. I thought there.
Yeah, but it took them. Yeah, but it took them didn't it take them 6 months? It took them a while. I could have sworn. And also, you can hide the Authors of Pain because they've got they were able to hide the Authors of Pain's inadequacies by just having them be big, beat the crap out of each other, and they had Paul Ellering to back them up for personality. Yeah. Shayna Baszler hasn't fully developed her character. The good thing with Authors of Pain is they didn't need much character because they had Paul Ellering and they were big, scary dudes.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing pretty good with her character now, though. I just thought they were going to do that because I thought the path we were going to do is they were going to have her beat Ember, build up the feud between her and Ember until the next TakeOver, have her successfully defend against Ember, and then Ember would move up to the main roster from there.
Well, the thing is they've been very high on Ember Moon. This is another reason why I chose Ember is because they've been very high on Ember Moon since she came in, and they just gave her the championship. I don't think you invest as much time as they have into Ember Moon just to have her lose the championship on the very next TakeOver after she wins the championship. Yeah. It's the exact same reasoning you used for why you picked Almas to beat Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Except Yeah, with Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they've invested in Ember, and if they didn't want to keep Asuka undefeated going into the main roster, I'm pretty sure Ember would have been the one to beat Asuka, be ready for Asuka.
Yeah.
But they wanted to keep her undefeated. But Ember is currently the next big thing in NXT, and I feel like until they're ready, they have a plan for moving her up to the main roster. They'll probably keep the championship on her,
well, like
and then they'll probably give it to somebody like Shayna Baszler or Kairi Sane or somebody like that.
Which, fun fact that I just want to point out, it's jumping ahead a little bit, but Kairi Sane was in the Royal Rumble. Do you know the reason why?
Well, I didn't want to jump over to the Royal Rumble yet, but
well, I just wanted to point out the reason she was, because it's on my mind and I'll probably forget. Alicia Fox apparently broke her tailbone right before.
I knew that Alicia got hurt, but I didn't know that was why Kairi Sane was in there. I thought they were going to, like, grab another... Because that, I think, happened, like, a day or two beforehand. So I was like, oh, they could probably grab somebody, but still...
Yeah, they threw her in there because Alicia got hurt, and that makes me feel real bad for her. Dana Brooke got to be in it, but not Alicia.
Well, she got hurt. It wasn't really her fault.
I know. I'm saying I feel bad for her.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, it was a good match. Did exactly what I think it needed to do.
I really liked the match. It really sold it sold Shayna Baszler as a badass who is just going to destroy people.
Exactly.
And it builds up Ember Moon as this very resilient champion.
Resilient, very smart with how she got the win.
Though I do feel that even though it did build very well to the tension, it did make me believe that Shayna was going to win. I feel like they dragged out the arm bar a little too much because it kind of almost weakens it as a finisher for Baszler.
Well, that's not her finisher.
It's not. What's her finisher then?
The chokehold that she put Ember in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
I forget exactly what she calls it, but yeah, it's a body scissors chokehold that she does.
All right. Well, then I totally rescind what I said. I totally forgot the chokehold was her, because that's what she took Kairi Sane out with, and that's what she took Ember out with after the match.
Yeah. And that's who she's been taking basically everyone in the women's division.
But I just saw the armbar on there forever, and I was like, oh, this is it. It's over. But then again, that's also because they built up really good psychology with Ember Moon. By the way, that stomp on Ember's arm that set up all that psychology, that looked brutal.
Yeah. The reason they did that is because that's what she did to Dakota Kai to injure her, which is why now I'm thinking it's like kayfabe injury, but it's so gross. I hate seeing that move. Oh, God.
Yeah, Big Stupid says that he liked the build towards the match because Ember Moon was the aggressor and challenged Baszler, plus the finish was different.
Yeah. And I liked how after the match, Baszler just went out and took her out.
Well, because she didn't get like knocked out or her ass kicked. Yeah. She just barely got beat.
Yeah.
Like she had that match in the palm of her hand and it slipped away, and Ember Moon just found a way to win. Which is again perfect storytelling.
Yeah, this week actually on NXT, they showed an interview that they did with Shayna right after the match, and they were asking her how she felt about the match and about how she lost. And she looks at them and goes, "Did you see what happened out there? I did exactly what I wanted to do, which is hurt Ember. Yeah, did I get the title? No. But I'm gonna get the title. And if you want to know who the loser is, look at how I am right now, and go back into the medical room and ask Ember who the loser is. I'll see her later." And she wanted this whole thing about... one thing she specifically said was, Ember didn't beat me. Ember survived me.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing that they were saying with, Finn Balor with Samoa Joe, with how Samoa Joe didn't beat him the first 2 times, and they kept saying Finn Balor survived Samoa Joe. They're building up a similar kind of thing here. Ember didn't beat Shayna; she survived Shayna, and it's really building up. And I feel like I don't know what they're gonna do because I feel bad for like Billie Kay and Peyton Royce and Nikki Cross. We're kind of being lost in the shuffle right now. But like I really see this rivalry between Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon going really well. Shayna is eventually going to win, and then she's going to just become this heel, very dominant heel, similar to like what you said of Samoa Joe, where she just mercilessly beats the crap out of anybody who dares challenge her. And I feel like if there's going to be somebody who's going to take the championship off of her, it'll be Kairi Sane. Because they have that history. Kairi Sane can be that resilient challenger, underdog. Well, what are you gonna say? The only other person I could see doing it other than Kairi would be maybe Candice LeRae. because she has a score to settle with her from the Mae Young Classic too, and she came in with a ball of fire this week.
We'll see. I'm not quite sure what they're gonna do with Candice LeRae. Okay, we should be back, and we're back. Sorry about that. Let me just make sure that Audacity is still recording. It is. The cord just randomly fell out of our microphone again. Hashtag get it. We need a new mixer. Hashtag we need a mixer. Hashtag we need new mics.
But yeah, I agree with
Big Stupid said that Baszler's face and emotions after the match were perfect, and how she lost and set up for they were. Her disbelief and just her selling of losing and letting it sink in.
Are you kidding me?
And sitting there in the when she was sitting there in the corner, almost Raven-like, it was
real good.
It was amazing. They definitely have I wasn't really big on Shayna Baszler yet, just because she was relatively new to NXT, but now that she's had this match with Ember, I'm sold on her. And like I said, I see big things happening. She's definitely going to be the next NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
And back on Candice, I just don't know what they're going to do with Candice LeRae quite yet, because she's going to be involved in the whole Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa thing for now.
I'm starting to wonder. Well, I'll get to it when we get to that. But anyway, let's move on to the next match, which was
also very, very, very good.
Yes, Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match.
Christ, you want? I don't know. Some people say that the rest of Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, have Adam Cole's back, but I don't know if he has a back anymore to be covered. After that match, and if he does, I'm pretty sure those two chairs have his back.
Yeah. The one way that I knew that he was not injured from that, because at first I thought he was when I showed the replay. The way I knew that he wasn't injured is because when he hits the top of the chairs that they showed in slow-mo, he hits like across his shoulders, which is what you're supposed to do, shit like that. And afterwards, he was holding his lower back. So I was like, okay, he's just selling. Thank God. We don't need a crippled
I saw him
Adam
turn
Cole.
those chairs inside.
Flip them around and
turn them around, and I'm like, okay, nobody's going through those, because nobody's that dumb. Nobody's gonna put that kind of risk into a match. And then he took it, and I was like, I cringed. I had like my hand in my mouth, like biting down on my index finger, just whoo for like 60 to 120 seconds straight. I was doing that. That's how brutal that was upon first viewing. Holy crap.
And he got his thumb cut open right by the beginning of the match.
Yeah, that was brutal. They eventually patched it up at one point during the match.
The referee's like, okay,
you're losing a little too much blood.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was, okay, Adam, for God's sake, there's a lull in the match. Go over and let the paramedics look at your goddamn finger.
Yeah. But outside of the thumb and that chair spot, that match was pretty amazingly brutal.
Oh, I loved it.
And awesome.
I loved Aleister catching the chair while on the top rope and getting hit with a super kick with the chair and falling off the top rope through 2 tables on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Oh, man.
That was... Oh, God.
And the double knees through the table and the moonsault with the kendo stick. Like, they really
I saw that. I'm like, oh, God, Aleister, you're at full extension. You can't... When you're doing that, when you're in the moonsault and you're in that crescent, like, you're stretching yourself out. You can't brace and tighten your abs to absorb that. So that must have hurt so goddamn bad.
Yeah. As soon as I saw him going, I was like, that's exactly what they're going to do. And then they didn't. And I was like, nice. But man, that match was real good.
Oh, so good.
I'm really hoping this helps boost Adam Cole and Aleister Black at the same time into the title picture.
It did.
They're already way up there. I'm just hoping that like at next takeover, like, well, Adam Cole and Aleister Black like killed each other.
I think
Let's both give them a
if they
title
don't
shot.
want Drew, if Drew McIntyre's not going to be back for a while, I think Aleister Black is going to be the next challenger for the NXT Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And if he challenges for the NXT Championship, no offense to Almas, because his match with Gargano was amazing, and I actually am sold on him as champ right now, but.
Mm-hmm.
If Aleister Black's in that NXT Championship match, Aleister Black's winning that NXT Championship. He should not lose that match. But oh man, it was incredible. And when one of them does win the NXT Championship, I want them to have a rematch for that title.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Good God, what a match! Amazing.
Yeah, it was very innovative for a no DQ match. And Big Secret also says that Black is in his top 3 wrestlers right now, and I don't blame you.
Aleister Black is just so goddamn good. He's gonna be. I feel like so long as they don't screw him up, which they could on the main roster because not everybody's transitioned well. I feel like it's not hard to mess up Aleister Black on the main roster, and I feel like he's gonna go like just shoot up. He's gonna have I feel like he should have a rocket strapped to him when he goes to the main roster and just start tearing through people.
Yeah. Like, I feel like one of the first things he should do is get into a match with, like, a lower level guy as, like, his debut and just one black mass and win. Like, that's it.
Yeah, like put him up against a Heath Slater or Kurt Hawkins or
wow, why am I blanking on his name?
Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas. Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah,
I said Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of I was thinking of another name for some reason, but yeah, I could see him coming out and just like hitting him with a one black mass and pinning him. But anyway, on to the main event.
Well, what main event? There was a main event. What was that?
Yeah.
I don't. Was it any good?
I hear Meltzer liked it. I hear he thought it was good.
Meltzy Man,
Ooh.
The Melts Master.
Remind me when we're done with TakeOver that I have a quick thing to say about ROH that I just heard this morning. But anyway, the main event was Andrade Cien Almas defending his NXT championship against Johnny Gargano, aka Johnny Wrestling, in an absolutely amazing match. And I just want to point out right away, one of the things that sold me on the match right away was Almas's entrance.
Mm-hmm.
That entrance I loved. The match was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good match.
Comedy Comment, thank you for the 20-bit cheer, by the way. It was so good.
Oh my god, that
so
match.
Good.
Johnny
Gargano's selling
is amazing.
Is just incredible. It is top notch. There were so many false finishes in that match.
Yeah, I know.
It was a match where like I picked Johnny to win because I wanted to see Ciampa versus Gargano for the championship, but like despite how good Almas is, despite like the outside interference angle, despite the fact that we knew that Ciampa was lurking somewhere, we didn't know when he was gonna strike.
You still got that feeling that he might win.
Yeah. You still believed that there was a chance that he was going to win that match, and you wanted him to win that match so bad.
Oh yeah.
It was so good. I loved how they got Candice LeRae involved at the end.
Yeah. One thing that bothered me about though is one thing we didn't mention is throughout the show they showcased War Machine on the outside of the ring. Like I said, War Machine. They showcased Ricochet and they showcased EC3 and all that, but they didn't do that with Candice LeRae. I'm glad that she got involved. They didn't do that on purpose. That way they could save her for the main event. Yeah.
Because they mentioned that she was in the crowd during the match, and then because the way they were doing it is they were doing it as she was there because she was Johnny's wife, not so much that she was a signee. So that way they could like make the storyline more that she's here because of supporting her husband and her wife, and not a signee, not a high profile signee. It was like because it fit the narrative they wanted to build around the main event scene and how they wanted to introduce her character into NXT.
True.
More than just being like, oh, here's Candice LeRae, and then like being like, oh, it's Candice LeRae. That chick that we announced was a big signee. She's also Johnny Gargano's wife. She's interfering in this match.
Yeah. But the match overall was very good. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I love.
I think
the match ended though with the
those double knees
to the post and then
to the post.
Hangman's hammerlock DDT. Oh my god!
Yeah,
it was such a good match.
It was just the impact and the sound of those double knees to that post, and then Gargano's sell where he looked like he was like concussed beyond belief, or that like he was literally like barely holding on to consciousness, just in a daze, was just incredible. Amazing, I haven't seen somebody sell that type of striker attack since Sami Zayn did it back when he was having a rivalry with Corey Graves way back. Not many people might remember this, but right before Corey Graves got another concussion that basically ended his in-ring career, he was actually in a rivalry with Sami Zayn for like contendership, I think, for the NXT Championship. Where basically the storyline was that Corey Graves just kept attacking Sami Zayn and trying to concuss Sami, and it was believed that they didn't use the word concussion because they were trying to dodge around it, but like Sami would seem like out of it almost all the time, and the way that Sami would sell it was just like like when I saw Johnny Gargano do that at TakeOver, I immediately had flashbacks to that, but it was just unfortunate because they did a like concussion storyline basically where Corey Graves was giving the other guy a concussion, and then like in one of the WrestleMania Access matches, he suffers a concussion that ends his career.
Yeah.
But anyway, back over to the match itself. Big Stupid says his only critique is that he did that nobody home gaze one too many times, especially when people are so sensitive about concussions and head injuries.
But that's the way Johnny Gargano sells most things. He a lot of his matches, he takes a lot of shots to the head, and he does that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that is that big of a deal, because in wrestling, everybody knows that part of the deal with wrestling is that you're selling.
Yeah, and not only that, it's a matter of if there was something like that was actually the case, would he still then be able to kick out and then continue with the match? It's showing that he's getting knocked out of it for a little bit, but that his will is so strong that he's able to keep going.
Yeah, and
when in reality, if he wasn't able to keep going, the match would have been sad.
And I understand like the sensitivities around concussions and everything. Wrestlers are trying to be as safe as possible, but at the same time, there's that contradiction of like it not only is entertainment, but it's supposed to be like we're supposed to be it's supposed to be like a fantasy combat sport, kind of thing. Like in boxing and MMA, just because of concussion warnings, blows to the head are not going to be eliminated because it's a fundamental part of the sport. And so like blows to the head are a fundamental part of wrestling. They're just changing the way that like they do it. They're trying to be safer about it, and that's why they don't do the protected chair shots, because there isn't as much control with the wrestlers. At least with the wrestling moves themselves, you can control that.
Exactly.
And the point of selling it is to sell the fact that the person got hit and the person possibly got concussed. It doesn't mean that they got concussed. Like I understand where you're coming from, Big Stupid. It's like it's a hard line to toe, but like I feel like WWE has to toe it because they can't. I feel like they can't not pretend that people aren't going to want to hit each other in the head or
yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be a thing of they're supposed to be going all out over the top prize in NXT. I mean, it's kind of expected.
Yeah. What's up, Joker? Welcome into the chat, by the way.
Yeah. But to finish up with it, there was the post-match stuff.
Yeah, and funny enough, I knew the second, like, the match was over, I'm like, and Ciampa didn't come out immediately, I'm like, they're going to do exactly what they did when he turned on him. They're going to wait until that little, like copyright logo in the lower right shows up for him to attack them.
Yeah. And it showed up. I was like, they can't end it like this. He's got to come out right. And then I heard the the crowd just swelled. I'm like, oh, okay, so they are doing it. Mm-hmm. And they also, another thing they did on NXT this week is people trying to interview Ciampa as he's leaving the arena, and he's just walking, limping with the brace on, just dragging the crutch behind him as he just walks out of the arena, just ignoring all the reporters.
Jesus. somebody pointed out, and it's nice that there was some symbolism in it, and that like Ciampa hit Gargano with a crutch, which is funny because Ciampa sees Gargano as his crutch, but a lot of the reason why he turned on him is because he was sick of people thinking that Ciampa was Gargano's crutch. Mm-hmm. So it was symbolic also. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was on purpose. It should have been, and
I also
thumbs up.
Liked how it happened while he was standing with Candice because he was one of the best men at the wedding. So it had that extra emotional impact.
Mm-hmm. Joker, you have a question? Let us know what it is. What's up? And Big Stupid says, if that's Johnny's gimmick, okay. He hadn't seen him wrestle before. You haven't seen Johnny wrestle before?
He might be talking about
in singles?
Ciampa.
Oh, what, Ciampa? Like the whole thing, the way that he did that? Yeah, his
I'll tell you this. One of his nicknames is the Psycho Killer.
Mm-hmm. Do we know why they took away pyro? It's because of budgeting costs. Yeah, they're trying to cut expenses.
Yeah.
So they're only saving pyro for like big events like WrestleMania and stuff. Yeah. So like it's a way to cut costs and save the company money.
Yeah.
Whether or not, I'm not sure if he said Johnny Gargano.
Oh, well,
how have you not seen Johnny wrestle, Big Stupid? You got to watch him wrestle more, man.
Yeah,
you got to
watch matches. The weekly NXTs. Like,
you haven't watched him compete in DIY with Ciampa?
Yeah, like you should watch his match with Cassius Ohno. You should watch his match with Velveteen Dream. And he's really good.
Watch any of DIY's like final few matches.
Yeah.
With the Revival and Authors of Pain.
But anyway.
So yeah, that any more thoughts on NXT TakeOver before we move on to the Royal Rumble?
I thought it was very good, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. And like I said, there is one thing I want to bring up quickly.
What's that?
I don't know the exact date, and I don't remember the name of the event, but there has been an announced match for an upcoming ROH show.
Well, we can talk about that at the end. We don't have to do that in the middle of the review. I made a tweet about it. We can talk about that in the wrestling developments part, not in the review part.
Continue then. Fine.
Just wanted to bring
it up before I forgot.
I won't forget it. TakeOver Philly was very good, but you know what else was good?
The Royal Rumble itself.
Yes.
And not so much the pre-show because I only watched the one match and it was eh.
I actually didn't catch the pre-show. And I did not go back to watch it. Anything good? Or
I only got to see the 6-man match of Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado versus Drew Gulak, TJP, and who was the other one? Jack Gallagher, in which the Luchadors won. It was an okay match. It was like the crowd wasn't here, that cruiserweights. Because I mean, there wasn't really. It was when the arena was starting to fill, so I still want to try and watch Revival versus Gallows and Anderson, though.
Yeah, which the Revival won, and then Bobby Roode's Open Challenge. Who is that answered by again? I'm trying to remember. Mojo Rawley, and of course Bobby Roode won because Bobby Roode should win that match
because he's glorious.
Before we get into the main match, Big Stupid wants to know where we would rank the TakeOver so far. I really don't know. Like, I would have to. There's so many good takeovers that I would have to look at the cards of all the takeovers and be like, okay, this one goes here, this one goes here. Off the top of my head, Philly, the first takeover, Brooklyn,
Chicago,
War Games, Chicago, and the one before WrestleMania 32 are the ones that jump out most to me as like just 5 off the top of my head. If I was firing top 5 off the top of my head without like looking deep into all the cards.
Yeah. But anyway, Royal Rumble.
Yes, Royal Rumble. The Rumbles themselves were very good. The other matches were all right.
Yeah. Like the first match of the night, what was that again? I'm trying to remember.
Was it one of the tag title matches?
Yeah, it was Jimmy and Jay defending against Benjamin and Gable, in which Jimmy and Jay.
Which God, I felt bad for Benjamin and Gable.
Yeah, but hey, the Usos are hot. The Usos are so good right now.
Yeah, but
they keep talking about how they're the best tag team in WWE, and it's a matter of they lost to arguably the best.
I just feel bad for Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable because I feel like they need something right now.
I agree.
And Gable has just been spinning his wheels since they broke up American Alpha, which was not a good decision if you ask me. I don't think it's panned out well for either of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the first match.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
we forgot about like one of the big title matches first. And like for Shelton Benjamin, like he came back, and like I wanted to see him do stuff, and instead he's just he's old man Jason Jordan basically.
Yeah.
That's what he's done. He's filled Jason Jordan's he's old American Alpha. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's basically Chad Gable replacing Kurt Angle's son with one of Kurt Angle's old partners.
Basically, it's you take America's best tag team and American Alpha or the world's greatest tag team and American Alpha and just combine them. It's like Chad Gable is Shelton Benjamin's budget Charlie Haas, and well, actually that's kind of no offense to Charlie Haas, but that's kind of an insult almost to Chad Gable, because I feel like Chad Gable's a much better wrestler.
They're both really good
I'm
wrestlers.
not saying Charlie Haas was bad. I just think Chad Gable's better. And basically, Shelton Benjamin is Chad Gable's budget Jason Jordan.
Yeah.
It's like
that's why I think they should have just had them going for singles stuff. They shouldn't have just thrown them together.
Chad Gable should have been given like something singles wise, like you said, to do, because he can go in singles matches. He's got a personality. He's got charisma.
You can put him athlete.
Yeah, you can put him in there to compete for the United States Championship for stuff like that. Like turn Bobby Roode heel and put Chad Gable against him. That would be amazing.
And at the very least, you could always at least do like just some bigger name like singles rivalries. Like you could have a rivalry like Baron Corbin or Randy Orton or something.
Yeah. And Joker suggested that maybe when Shelton came back, he should have kept American Alpha together and had Shelton been their leader and stable. Maybe, like, I don't know. Depends on how Shelton came back and how strong he looked. Because like, if you want somebody leading American Alpha in a stable, you kind of want them to be like a bona fide, certified like main event star. I feel.
Yeah, I mean Shelton Benjamin was Intercontinental Champion and stuff, but
yeah.
But anyway, the match itself, I thought it was okay.
It was all right.
I was happy that the Usos retained.
Yeah, but they 2-0'd. That was another reason why I felt bad about.
Yeah, they've been doing
Gable
that
them,
more
that they
recently
got 2-0'd.
with 2 out of 3 falls match where they have 2-0 instead of like 2-1 or something.
Yeah,
but them's the breaks.
Anyway, the first match was actually the WWE Championship match of AJ versus Sammy and Kevin Owens, which was all right match, good match. Nothing really to write home about.
AJ pinned the wrong man,
and the ref didn't see it, but thought that Kevin was legal, and that Sammy tagged him, but he didn't. Interesting way to like keep their rivalry going for the next month or so.
I just want to point out that I find it funny that in this situation, the referee doesn't restart the match or whatever, or something like that, and have repercussions. But when they did that with Gable and Benjamin versus the Usos, which led to this match they made it so that way, instead of Benjamin and Gable actually winning the titles, that the Usos are still the champions and blah, blah, blah. So I find it funny that they did it so back-to-back of the storyline of, they pinned the wrong guy. But whatever.
Yeah. So that match was good.
It did.
The tag match was kind of like feel bad for Gable and Benjamin. Let's get on to the good stuff. Let's get on to the men's Royal Rumble that happened first before the women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah. It was a very good match. Had a lot of nice surprises. The one thing I will say that I was sad about is that Ty Dillinger didn't get in the match. He got beat up, and now he's the new Curtis Axel, where he still has not been eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
Well, didn't Curtis Axel actually get into the ring? Like, don't you have to be in? You have to physically be in the ring in order to technically be part of the Royal Rumble.
Well, what it was is I forget who attacked him. I think it was like Baron Corbin or whatever. But he was on his way to the ring, then he got attacked and thrown to the side, and someone ran to the ring. And he started going on with, I never got eliminated. I was in the match. I came out and everything. I never got eliminated. And I loved it because he kept that gimmick going until the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Often imitated, never eliminated.
Yep. And then he got eliminated, and I just kept pointing out to people like, all right, so unfortunately, Curtis Axel has been eliminated from the Royal Rumble, but now he's still the longest member of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal match.
But
But anyway.
Yeah.
The match itself.
Well, First, Joker just wants to say that Ty has so much potential. He feels like they're just making him a jobber and it's pissing him off.
It's just because they have so many other people
If so,
that trying
yeah,
to put
they
the
really
spotlight on.
they do need a better job of
Highlights,
booking the Ty
showcasing
Dillinger job though, because Ty can be a really good charismatic guy, and he's got something that the crowd is into with the 10.
Yeah, I mean,
Chance, the
between
perfect
things
10
like
gimmick.
that and what's his name? Tyler Breeze, how he came in, had a rivalry with Dolph Ziggler, and that just kind of fizzled out and everything, and they didn't really do much with him, and now he's in Breezango.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're not handling NXT guys well. At least people who aren't NXT champion that come up to the main roster.
Yeah. 1904, we'll get to the whole Red Dead thing later in the Vidya games.
Which, speaking of NXT champions, or people from NXT that was an NXT champion that I feel like they mishandled, was Finn Balor. Because he did a really good job in the Royal Rumble match.
I thought that was perfectly fine.
Oh,
he was
I
the
thought
Iron
that
Man
was good
for the Royal Rumble.
But I'm saying in general, the idea of he's the Iron Man, but not the Royal Rumble winner, and he's one of the top
way it
guys,
always goes,
but he doesn't
though.
get the title shot ever.
He was the first Universal Champion.
But
he's been given Gallows and Anderson to head up a stable. He was the Iron Man in the Royal Rumble, and only on one or two occasions has the Iron Man won the Royal Rumble. If you don't win the Royal Rumble, the person you want to be is you either want to have the most eliminations or you want to be the Iron Man, because those are the two biggest rubs in the Royal Rumble. And Finn Balor was given that. So I don't see why you feel like Finn Balor is being mistreated.
Because of the fact that he had the match for the Universal title, won it, got injured, and then since he's come back, other than being the Iron Man in the Royal Rumble, they haven't really done much with him. They had
this
him in
is a sign that they're starting to do something with him, that they have faith in him, that it's not like, we're not forgetting about him. He's an Iron Man. He made it towards the end. He also got that rub with the Click and on Raw 25 with the Click and DX.
Yeah.
With the Too Sweet. That was also another thing. Like Raw 25 and the Royal Rumble showed, don't worry, we may not be, just because he didn't get put into the title match with Brock Lesnar. Maybe they did that not because they don't have faith in him, but maybe they didn't want to have him lose to Brock.
I'm not saying they don't have faith in him. They obviously do if they made him the Iron Man. What I'm pointing out is he's come back and he's not getting much story. He's now finally getting one again with Gallows and Anderson, but it leads to things like, yeah, he was the Iron Man in the Royal Rumble match, and then the next night on Monday Night Raw, he loses a match to John Cena in the main event. But
it was to John Cena.
I understand that, but I'm pointing out the fact that, once again, they could start building a storyline with him, and then it's, all right, well, we'll put him in a match with John Cena, and then...
Because his storyline hasn't started yet. I'm sure they have plans for Finn Balor. They put him in a one-on-one match against John Cena. Losing to John Cena is not a bad thing. It's not being fed or being buried. You're being put in a singles match on Raw in the main event against one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, or who will go up in the pantheon as one of the greatest wrestlers in history, whether people like Cena or not. So get off this whole, Finn Balor is being mistreated. They don't have plans for Finn Balor. Finn Balor is fine. Finn Balor will get his Universal Championship opportunities. Once this whole thing with Brock Lesnar is over, I am sure that they will have Finn Balor competing for the Universal Championship. I just think they don't want to do with Finn Balor what they did with Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe. I think they realized with Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman, we're really trying to build these guys, and they got taken out after one finisher to Brock Lesnar. Yeah, they took it to Brock Lesnar, but they lost after one finisher. Maybe they want Finn to be something better than that. Maybe they want Finn to maybe turn heel after WrestleMania and go after Roman, who will have the championship, because it's happening whether we like it or not. So I am saying they're doing what they can with him. Oh, you're saying he's being mistreated right now, but if you look at the last set at the 7 days between Raw 25 and the Raw after Royal Rumble, he was part of a squash match against the Revival with the rest of the Balor Club. He got to be in the ring with D-Generation X and Razor Ramon, and got to Too Sweet them, which is a symbolic passing of the torch to him and the Balor Club. He's the leader of that faction. He became the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble, was one of the last guys eliminated, was in there for an incredibly long time, and then he had a match with John Cena in the main event of Raw the next night. I don't see where that's him not being treated well. Just because he doesn't get a shot at the Universal Championship, he's being mistreated?
No. Two things. First thing I'm going to point out, remind me to stop bringing up my opinions on this show, because it seems I bring up an opinion I have about something, and you start telling me why my opinion is wrong. Because the second thing is, I'm not saying that they don't have plans for him. What I'm saying is, other than this week period of time that you're focusing on, I'm saying everything that's come before it has been a lot of, he had a rivalry with Bray Wyatt, and that's basically it. He hasn't really done anything with it since then, and they're not showing any signs right now of him actually having a storyline, and I'm saying I wish they were doing more with him in the present other than that 1 week period of time. I'm not saying that they don't have plans for him. I'm not saying that they're just like throwing him to the side or anything. I'm just saying I wish we could see people like him on screen and in storylines more than some other people right now.
Well, I was trying to debate your opinion because the main thing that stuck out in my head from what you said was that it came across to me that what you were saying was that Finn Balor did not get a decent rub at the Royal Rumble. No. And I feel like he got a really good rub, and I feel like
I was putting that's one good thing that he's gotten recently, because up until this recent week, he hasn't been given much, and I was saying that I'm glad that he got that, but other than that, they need to do more.
And they're starting to. Like, that's what I'm trying to argue, is they're starting to do stuff with him. So like, we shouldn't hit the panic button on Finn Balor just because he didn't get the, and I'm not saying this to you, I'm just saying in general, we shouldn't hit the panic button on Finn Balor just because he didn't get the title match with Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. He's had a good week. I feel like they've got plans for him, and I think he's going to have a huge 2018.
Oh, I'm just saying that I can understand him being the Iron Man of the Royal Rumble and losing that. I'm just saying I would rather see Finn Balor go into this Elimination Chamber match than John Cena, and I can understand that it's John Cena. I'm just saying that I wish that they would do more with someone like Finn Balor, who's here, who people are very big behind and everything, and you've got this whole thing with the Balor Club, instead of John Cena, who just comes back every now and then because they could put John Cena in other feuds.
Well, I feel like they still want John Cena to seem relevant, because John Cena's going to have a big match at WrestleMania. It might be against The Undertaker, it might not. But like, John Cena can't just be putting everybody over in every match. If they want him to be in a big match, a big profile match, they need to let him win a couple. And I think,
I understand, but he also eliminated Finn Balor in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe this is tying. Maybe John Cena isn't going to go up against The Undertaker like everybody wants to see happen. Maybe instead this is planting the seeds for, a lot of people think it's going to be Elias versus John Cena. Maybe this is planting the seeds for a Finn Balor heel turn, and you get Finn Balor with the Balor Club against John Cena at WrestleMania. Maybe they put, I stretch that out because it is John Cena. Maybe they put Balor over WrestleMania, or maybe Balor has a match with him at the Elimination Chamber, or they're both in the Elimination Chamber. Maybe eliminate Cena in the Elimination Chamber.
That's what I'm saying. What's upsetting me is the match between Finn Balor and John Cena was determined who gets into the Elimination Chamber match. So John Cena is now in the Elimination Chamber match, in which that will determine the number one contender for the Universal title, and now Finn Balor isn't. I'm saying I would rather see Finn Balor in that Elimination Chamber match than John Cena.
With that stipulation, maybe they have a different plan for him, and they're going to start doing, maybe whoever he's going to be involved with at WrestleMania isn't going to be in that Elimination Chamber match also. So maybe they're trying to get that out of the way, have him lose, so that way he can start working on his storyline with whoever he's going to have a storyline with for WrestleMania.
So Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, so the rest of the Royal Rumble match itself, in addition to who won, was very, very good. I loved the fact that Hurricane Helms came back.
And Rey Mysterio, who looks in fucking amazing shape.
Yeah, he looks like in the best shape he's been in 10, 15 years.
Jesus.
And he got
dense.
And he got a massive pop too. The crowd was huge for him, and he made it all the way to the end, which was really, really cool. I'm trying to think, what were some other interesting things that happened? Kofi's elimination, or avoidance of an elimination. Yeah. The fact that Slater was just getting destroyed by everybody, and then Big E came out and pulled pancakes out of his singlet and just fed them to Slater. Xavier Woods saving Kofi from elimination.
Who was it that Slater eliminated? I can't remember who exactly it was, but I remember someone...
Wasn't it Baron Corbin?
It may have been Baron Corbin. I feel like it was someone else, though. I think it may have been Baron Corbin, though, that just threw him in the ring, and then he immediately eliminated the person who threw him in the ring.
Yeah. I think it might have been Baron Corbin. But I love. Oh, it's Sheamus.
Sheamus,
Sheamus. Okay.
Sheamus, because it was his birthday, so he didn't have to do much work in the Royal Rumble match because he was going to be winning the tag titles later that night.
Okay. By the way, hi to Cam. By the way, we were in the middle of a heated debate and discussion when he came in and said hi. He's the one who corrected us and let us know that it was Sheamus. The Kofi using the pancakes. I had said Xavier. And I had said that when Big E took out the pancakes. I had said that, like, what if they use the pancakes as a means to help Kofi keep from being eliminated? I thought it was gonna be a little different. I thought they were gonna like lay pancakes out like breadcrumbs for him to tiptoe on.
I still love the thing of Xavier was holding his foot. Big E puts the pancakes down. He gets his foot down, and he just looks. I ain't okay. I guess.
And then he just hops on one foot because he doesn't have two feet down, so he's not eliminated.
And Jinder got hindered, thankfully.
Yes. I was a little upset. I was like, okay, they eliminated one. He eliminated one New Day member. Okay, eliminated another one. This isn't really cool. And then he finally got out, and then Kofi got eliminated.
Yeah.
After that, so.
Don't understand the Jinder.
But
anyway,
let's talk about the end of the Royal Rumble match. Unless there's anything else from the match that I'm forgetting that you think you might want to point out. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt eliminated each other, so they're still going to be doing things.
Yep, like I said, I said it to you beforehand, but they had a little bit of a thing on Raw, but.
Mm-hmm. And then Roman eliminated Seth Rollins, which got a lot of heat, which I think was by design.
I also liked how they showed Seth, and he was like, "All right, I mean." That's how the match goes. Okay.
Yeah.
You got me this time.
He's like, I kind of am a guy that would do that anyway, at least when I was a bad guy. So, I kind of see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. By the way, Adam Cole, baby, and Andrade Cien Almas were in the match.
That's one thing that I really liked about this match is that Andrade came out, and every now and then they'd show him on camera, and I kept saying out loud, like, I'm really glad that Andrade is still in this match. Mm-hmm. I like that the NXT champion is representing, and he lasted about half an hour in the match, which I was very happy with.
And Cam points out the smart ring psychology involving Almas. He went to go throw out Kofi and saw they was about to throw them out on the side of the other new members. I saw what just happened about 5 minutes ago. You're going out this way. Which was very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, outside of all of that stuff, was there anything else good in the Rumble that we might have missed or forgotten about?
Well, there's one thing that didn't happen that I was hoping for.
A D-Bry?
Well, other than that, is I was really thinking that this would be Cassius Ohno's time to shine, and that they'd have him come in and like knock a bunch of people, like not eliminate, but knock out a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe Cassius Ohno just won't ever get out of NXT.
I hope he does.
Poor Chris Hero.
Oh man.
But anyway, like I was saying with the Rollins elimination, I felt like that was purposely by design because they knew it would get the crowd hot and pissed off, which would allow them to explode even more so when a Mr. Shinsuke Nakamura won the Men's Royal Rumble.
By eliminating Roman Reigns.
With a brutal Kinshasa right before he tossed him, too. That was woof.
I also want to point out quickly that I absolutely loved that when it was just Roman and Cena in the ring standing and looking at each other, that there was a chant of "You both suck" in the arena.
Yep. Which, I mean, I don't think that's true for either one of them.
I agree with you. I don't think they suck, but I love that was the reaction of they really don't want either one of them to win that badly.
Yeah. And that was the right call. It was the call that needed to happen. If Daniel Bryan wasn't going to be in the Royal Rumble, Shinsuke Nakamura, or if they didn't want to do some other like returning person tomfoolery, Shinsuke Nakamura should have won the match. It was the match they had teased all the way back at Money in the Bank. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. So it was what needed to happen. It did happen. And for once, for the first time in about like 4 or 5 years.
I think 4 years. Yeah.
Since 2014, well, technically 5 years because 2013 was the last time they actually, I think, cheered for the winner of a Royal Rumble. It's amazing to see somebody win who actually gets cheered when they win for once. Like, that's the way the Royal Rumble should be. We had 4 straight Royal Rumbles of the result getting, not so much the winner, but the result and the booking decision getting booed out of the building.
Yeah, they finally fixed it.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can keep that train rolling with Royal Rumbles.
Mm-hmm. And Cam said that he liked Cena being the loudest spot caller ever.
Yep.
I didn't notice that, to be honest with you. But Big Stupid says that apparently Cena yelled at Nakamura and Balor to attack them.
Yep.
Was that during the standoff?
Yeah.
The 6-person standoff? Okay. That was a cool moment, though.
Yeah.
The whole Ray, Orton, Cena on one end, and then
little
Roman,
tiny Rey
Balor.
Mysterio between Randy Orton and John Cena.
Yep.
Who are both apparently going through a midlife crisis and have to grow out and color their hair.
It's good to see you again, buddy. Didn't you like try really, really hard to keep me from winning your championship like 10, 11, 12 years ago or so? Let's forget about that. RKO. For research purposes, has a guy ever been in the Final Four in 4 straight Rumbles like Roman? I do not know. That's a good question.
I'm gonna guess probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rock, Austin, or Cena.
I was gonna say at the very least Austin, because he's won 3 Royal Rumbles.
Yeah. So well, I don't know if it's been straight because.
Well, I'm saying 2 years in a row, he was in the Final Four.
Yeah, so, 98 he won, 99 he was in the Final Four, but I don't think he was in the 2000 Rumble. He wasn't in the 2000 Rumble because he was hurt.
But
then.
he won 2 Royal Rumbles in a row.
Yeah.
So
no, he didn't win 2 Royal Rumbles in a row. He won 98 and then he lost 99 as the final 2. He was eliminated last by Vince McMahon.
I'm gonna look it up while we continue to discuss because I know he's won 3 times, and I believe he won twice in a row. But anything else you want to talk about with the Royal Rumble, or do you want to start going on to the next match?
Not really. The ending was good. It was nice to see everything being the crowd exploding for what was it?
Sorry. 1997, Steve Austin won at the number 5 spot. 1998, he won at the number 24
so he
spot.
went back to back.
99, it was Vince McMahon in the number 2 spot. 2000 was The Rock at number 24, and then 2001 was Steve Austin again at the number 27 spot.
Yeah. So Austin's been in 4 Final Fours, but because he was hurt with his neck in 2000, that was the combo breaker. So unless he was in the Final Four of the 96 Rumble, which I don't think so, because I think he was still a ringmaster back then, and people didn't really care about him.
I don't remember.
Or at least creative didn't care much about him back then.
But anyway, after that was the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
Technically after the SmackDown one, and poor Seth Rollins. And
that was a rough match to watch.
I'm pretty sure
people do not like Jason Jordan at all.
I'm also pretty sure that the way the Royal Rumble and that match specifically went the way it did is because I'm pretty sure they originally booked the tag match to go before the Royal Rumble, and then they switched it like kind of last minute because I feel like Jason Jordan with the head injury was supposed to explain why he wasn't in the Royal Rumble match.
No, I don't think so. I think he just wasn't in the Rumble, and they needed 2 matches in between the Rumbles, so.
But yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
Poor Seth Rollins.
He was
in the Royal Rumble match for so long. And then I was talking with a friend of mine, and it was like, "Hey Seth, I know we're about to have this match, but do you think you could go first? Because I mean, you were in the Rumble match, so you were already here.
You're all warmed up. You're loose. You're ready.
And I just came all the way from the locker room. I had to walk so far. You could take it to begin with, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. I was only in the Rumble match for like a half an hour. Sure, I'll start the match.
Yeah. Yeah, Seth pulling double duty and just doing work, and Finn Balor was Iron Man of the Royal Rumble, but Rollins did quite a bit there
for a while too. Yeah.
That was the match. Basically, it happened. It was the result that needed to happen, and Rollins and Jordan need to get the hell away from each other, not be a tag team anymore.
It was a nice birthday present for Sheamus.
Yes.
Which, have you seen the picture that he posted recently?
No, I did not.
It's a picture of him where on one arm he's standing like this, and he's in a pair of trunks, and on this arm he's got the World Heavyweight Championship and the old Spinner WWE Championship on that arm, and then on this arm he's got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship that we have today, the US Championship, the old Tag Team Championship on this arm. Around his waist, he's got the Raw Tag Team Championship. On the floor in front of him is the Money in the Bank briefcase, and on his head is his crown from winning the King of the Ring tournament.
Jesus.
And he was saying that he's only got a few more things that he's got to get before he's got a full house.
Well, he needs the SmackDown Championship. Has he ever been Intercontinental Champion?
Well, if he wants to get all of them, he needs Intercontinental. he needs SmackDown Tag Team Championship and Universal Championship.
He also needs to get under 205 and take that Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
He's got to do it. Coming to 205 Live, the Great White.
Not gonna lie, that would be some pretty great promos and vignettes of Cesaro trying to help Sheamus make weight for 205 Live.
All right, but then after that
happened for his birthday,
and then another match that happened was the Universal Championship.
It was what it was expected, which is a lot of people breaking a lot of things.
Braun looks strong. Lesnar destroy things. Kane take fall.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. That was pretty much the match. Yep. It was a thing. It wasn't a bad match exactly, but I wasn't really like, oh my god, Universal. Like, whenever you see Brock Lesnar wrestle since he came back in 2012, you're like, oh my god, Brock Lesnar match, this is gonna be awesome. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a match.
Yeah.
So I think that speaks well enough about that match.
We don't really need to get into it.
So let's get into the final match, which was the Women's Royal Rumble that had a lot of returning faces, including Lita, which was really cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and name them all. We had Lita, Molly Holly, Beth Phoenix, Kelly, Brie, and Nikki. Jacqueline. Tori Wilson. Trying to remember who else.
The number 30.
I know who the number 30 was, but I'm trying to think if there's anybody else aside from her.
Vicky Guerrero.
Vicky Guerrero did come back. That was awesome, though. It shows how annoying Vicky Guerrero is, how easily she can get heat. And I don't know if I'm forgetting everybody else, but Trish Stratus was number 30, which was awesome and perfect. It was great to see so many of them back, even though it was kind of needed because they needed to fill out the rest of the 30, but it was still cool. We got to see Lita do her thing. We got to see Beth Phoenix do some strong woman stuff and see her do stuff with Natty and the Natty Eliminator, which is perfect. We got to see Mickie James and Trish Stratus have a standoff which people went nuts for. And then we also had a couple of NXT call-ups. We had Kairi Sane show up, and then we had Ember Moon, who had a very cool standoff moment with Asuka as well.
Which I'll just point out again, apparently the reason Kairi Sane was put in the match is because Alicia Fox injured her tailbone.
Which sucks for Alicia Fox, but a cool moment for Kairi Sane at least.
Yeah.
And she got to do her elbow.
Yep, the insane elbow.
Yes.
God, so beautiful.
Joker says Kelly's his girl. Kelly, I appreciate the years that she she worked. And she did that wrestling. Did I mention that Michelle McCool was in it too?
No, you did not.
Michelle McCool was
eliminated like 4 people.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make the joke. Everybody knows what you're thinking when you hear Michelle McCool was in the Women's Royal Rumble and she potentially got the most eliminations.
Yeah, it was because she got help from Layla.
Yeah, that's actually one thing Layla was somebody I was hoping to see, and Melina, but we didn't see either of them. That was
I'm not
unfortunate.
too surprised about Melina, but
Melina kind of left the company on bad terms. But one can hope she's active on the independent scene.
Yeah, true. But the winner of the match. Also hailing from Japan.
Proved that no one was ready for Asuka.
Except apparently maybe Ronda Rousey. Who's like, hey, I'm here too.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the end of Asuka winning, and we'll talk about the end of that match. I think Asuka definitely deserved to win that. She was the clear favorite. If Ronda Rousey wasn't going to be in that match, Asuka needed to win that match because Asuka is freaking Asuka. Asuka is just amazing. She kicks the crap out of everybody. She's great in the ring. I liked, let's also mention, by the way, that it was awesome that Sasha Banks was one of the final members of the Rumble. She was the Iron Woman in the match. It looks like they might be doing something with her and Asuka for the championship. Like, some people are thinking maybe they might have a rivalry going into like who faces Alexa, or maybe some people are theorizing or petitioning that maybe Sasha should go full heel and win the championship and face Asuka instead of Alexa Bliss, which would be interesting. But that's neither here nor there. Something else that Sasha might do is we might actually get Sasha versus Bayley, not for a championship at WrestleMania, because Sasha eliminated Bayley.
Yeah.
Which was cool. I think people enjoyed that because we're like, oh my god, wait, is this gonna happen? Like, I kind of want it to happen when one of them has the championship, because I feel like that has to be over the Raw Women's Championship.
But I mean, this is also a thing where you could easily be like, all right, we're gonna have Sasha eliminate Bayley, and it could be is that gonna lead to a rivalry between them? And it could be a simple thing of, yes, it can, or no, it's a Royal Rumble. It's every person for themselves. They'll get over it because they understand that's how the Royal Rumble works. And that's why I like them doing stuff like this, because could we see rivalry? Yeah. If not, we still got to see something like that happen, because anything can happen like that in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And then the final two in the match, going back to the exact finish, was Asuka and Nikki Bella, which I liked Nikki Bella being second, because Nikki Bella was a good sleeper pick to win the Royal Rumble for the women. And it was perfect because she's done her time. She deserves her spot. She deserves her spot in history. I think she should be a Hall of Famer. I think that she definitely has become a good wrestler. However, the Philadelphia crowd and a lot of wrestling fans basically see her as the female John Cena or the female Roman Reigns. So they almost did exactly very similar to the same thing with the Women's Royal Rumble with the men's, where they had somebody that they knew that the Philadelphia crowd wasn't going to want to win, and then have the Japanese superstar that the crowd wants to win take them down.
Yeah. Which I like the way she won, of like just kicking Nikki's legs out from under her and causing her to get eliminated. But
yeah, it makes you. That's a bad joke. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that's directed towards Sasha.
Yep.
And you know what happened with Sasha and Paige? It was an accident. It was a mistake. It could have happened to pretty much everybody. It was like a simple drop kick to the back.
Well, they're kind of referring to the fact that she's apparently injured a decent amount of people, and not just Paige.
Who else is she injured?
She injured Bayley, I believe, at one point. It's like nothing intentional, but she's had a decent amount of matches where Paige is the only severe injury.
I'm gonna say this: if you're gonna criticize Sasha Banks and make jokes about that about Sasha Banks, you better be making the same exact jokes as Seth Rollins.
People do. A lot of people do. A lot of people are saying that they should do a rivalry between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins because of that.
They should eventually at some point, but that's tying into the storyline.
Yeah. But yeah. People make jokes about Seth Rollins all the goddamn time.
She almost broke. Yeah, but that's not.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are saying that she does this one suicide dive to the outside of the ring that she needs to stop doing, because like 3 times
I've seen
in a
that.
row
Yeah,
now.
no, I know what suicide dive we're talking about. That I will admit she needs to stop doing.
Yeah, that's the reason people are saying these kinds of things, because she's gonna get herself or someone else hurt, and she needs to stop those things at least.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Seth Rollins also does the same kind of stuff. Maybe Seth Rollins and Sasha Banks should have been a team in the mixed tag match, but then again, maybe not, because maybe they would have hurt everybody. God.
Everyone in the mixed match challenge, including Sasha Banks and Seth Rollins, injured by Sasha Banks
and Seth. I mean, here I am defending Sasha Banks now, making the same exact jokes, but these are very tongue in cheek. Like, I don't legitimately think Sasha Banks is a dangerous worker or Seth Rollins is a dangerous worker. I just think accidents happen. But in the interest of fairness and fun and jokes, I think it'd be hilarious if it was like they were a tag team, and at the end of the mixed match challenge, there was like a this should be like a kayfabe news article almost, like when the mixed match challenge was started, like mixed match challenge come and gone. Rollins and Banks are your champions. In other unrelated news, half of the roster is injured with back and neck injuries,
including Rollins and Banks.
Mm-hmm. Again, you hurt one Hall of Fame wrestler and you're branded for life. Well, I wouldn't say
talking about Seth there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Yeah, he's talking about Seth there, but he's also saying again, like, I don't know if Paige is a Hall of Famer because she was a little too young. No. Maybe if she does enough stuff, because she loves wrestling so much, I'm sure she'll be around as like maybe a manager, a faction leader, an authority figure. Maybe eventually she'll become a Hall of Famer through that extra stuff if she never ends up wrestling again. But a little too early to consider Paige a Hall of Famer. But
move on a little bit.
Neither here nor there. Off the Sasha Banks thing, Asuka won. It was awesome. It was a great ending. What are you pointing towards? Oh, I'm an idiot. But anyway, Asuka won. You're getting ahead of yourself again. Asuka won. Then I like how they had Charlotte and Alexa at ringside watching the whole match, which was cool because it was a great way to get them involved in the historic moment since they couldn't compete in the match as champions. They came into the ring. Asuka's thinking, "Who am I going to challenge? Who am I going to challenge?" And then Bad Reputation plays. You shut up, Echo. You shut your mouth. You shut your dirty mouth. Shut your mouth. Stop. Alexa, shut up. Yeah, you listen to me when I say shut up.
If only that worked on Bliss, right? I'm kidding.
I don't. Okay. Anyway, Bad Reputation plays, and out comes Ronda Rousey wearing
Rowdy
a
Ronda.
hot Ronda, like instead of hot rod, a hot Ronda shirt in the style of Ronda Rousey. And that was actually legitimately Roddy Piper's jacket given to her to wear for her appearance by Roddy Piper's son, which is amazing. A lot of people got upset about that, but the people got upset about that clearly don't know the relationship that Roddy and Ronda had, because like they had actually a pretty good relationship to one another, and Roddy was actually honored that she was like taking on the Rowdy persona, and she actually went and tried and got permission and the blessing of Roddy Piper to use Rowdy as a thing, and like he was an inspiration for her. I remember she won when she won one of her matches. She won her match right after I think Roddy died or something, and she dedicated the match to him. So I don't know why people are being like, oh, she's insulting Roddy Piper, she's an insult to him and his legacy. It's like, no, man. Like, if anything, I think if Roddy Piper was alive right now, he would be her manager, and he would absolutely love it and eat it up. He would adore it.
Exactly.
But anyway, she came out in the whole hot rod thing, stood there and just pointed at a WrestleMania sign.
And then she shook Stephanie's hand, and Stephanie's like, I don't know if I trust you. Last time I did this, I was in an armbar.
Yeah. So it was really it was kind of confusing because it's like, what is she doing? Is she gonna challenge for a championship? Not a championship? Why is she shaking Stephanie's hand? She's gonna wrestle Stephanie? What's going? I'm confused. But this is cool. I mean, it was confusing, but it was also like a lot of people thought that it was bad, that it ruined Asuka's moment, but it didn't really, because Asuka got her celebration.
Yeah.
She got to stare down each champion. Like, I don't think it really ruined Asuka's moment.
It was more of I know Nia Jax and Nikki Bella, especially after they did a little segment about it on Raw, were more pissed off about, as I believe Nia Jax had put it, like, yeah, sure, 30 women had just made history in that moment, but let's just forget about all that to focus on one person. But that's really mostly because of how they did a bigger segment, apparently, about Ronda Rousey than the Women's Royal Rumble on Raw the following night.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah. That's the problem right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was a great match. Big Stupid wishes that Piper was alive to see it. It would have been a cool moment. Yeah, I think it would have. I feel like it had to happen there. That moment with Ronda, and it didn't really take away from anything. I thought that the Women's Royal Rumble match as a whole, was just as good, if not better, than the main Royal Rumble match. Like, I know that we were a little confused, and we were like, well, what? They're putting the women on last? I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's history, but hopefully it's as good as the men's match will hopefully be. And it was.
Yeah.
Like, both Rumble matches, I tweeted this out once the Rumble was done. Those were two of the best Rumble matches, period, over the last, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, definitely.
So, they made history. I can't wait to see the Women's Royal Rumble return next year. And, so yeah, that was it for the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I think the matches in between the Rumble were just all right. Mm-hmm. They were okay. They held their own. But the Rumble matches themselves were amazing. Mm-hmm. And yes, I didn't even do the final tally. You won, and I think I'm going to be gone during the entire month of February. So on a technicality, asterisk, I believe you're going to hold the championship until WrestleMania. So WrestleMania will be when I get to become a 3-time champion.
Well, I think they're doing, if I remember correctly, I think they're going to do Elimination Chamber in February, and I think they're doing Fastlane or whatever for SmackDown in March.
All right, so maybe I'll have a chance at Fastlane. But speaking of Elimination Chamber, we got some Elimination Chamber announcements as we transition into a quick recap, because we spent a lot of time on reviews. Yep. We're going to do a quick recap of what happened this week.
Very quick recap of things that happened. Braun Strowman defeated Kane in a last man standing match to earn a spot into the Elimination Chamber match to determine the number one contender for the Universal Championship. With the help of Bray Wyatt, Elias defeated Woken Matt Hardy. Thank you, Big Stupid. Mm-hmm. Elias defeated Woken Matt Hardy to earn a spot in the Elimination Chamber match. And then in the main event, John Cena defeated Finn Balor to earn a spot in the Elimination Chamber match. So right now, we've got, it's Elias, Braun Strowman, and John Cena going to an Elimination Chamber match to determine the number one contender for the Universal Championship. Yes. And then I don't really know too much about what happened on SmackDown, unfortunately. I didn't hear too much about that.
You also skipped over something else. By the way, Big Stupid, thank you for the 50-bit cheer. Apologies for the no audio there. I realized that my headphones were still set as the primary audio device, so we didn't get the little jingle. If you want to cheer again, we'll get the South Park thing. But yes, hashtag and still for now. Still longest reigning though. I might have been too busy messing with the speaker system to get that sorted out. But did you mention the other announcement that there's not just going to be one
I did not
Elimination Chamber match?
There's going to be a second and the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match at Elimination Chamber.
And is that going to be for the Raw Women's Championship?
I don't know.
I think it is for the Raw Women's Championship because they can't really determine a number one contender if Asuka is going to go after Alexa or Asuka hasn't decided which championship she's going after yet.
Exactly.
So,
and then the following night, like I said, I don't know too much about what happened on SmackDown. I don't know if you've heard anything, but I didn't get to hear anything. Mm-hmm. But on 205 Live, they announced the new general manager of 205 Live. And you know who that is?
Who?
Drake Maverick.
Who was from Impact, right?
Formerly known as Rockstar Spud on Impact Wrestling. And I am very excited that he is now on 205 Live. He deserves to be in WWE. He's been working, as he put it, for 16 years to get on to... Thank you again, Big Stupid. Yeah, he's apparently been working like 16 years to get into the WWE.
Sorry, overflowing with bits is that next 50-bit cheer, because they were all single bits that Big Stupid did. The tip jar is overflowing. I just love that South Park thing. Yeah. But you were talking about Rockstar Spud.
Yeah, he is now the new general manager of SmackDown or of 205 Live, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. He already announced that there's going to be a 32-man tournament, I believe it is, for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Which I just like to point out, Cam did actually call that it was going to be Rockstar Spud in the last podcast. So I was hoping it was going to be Rey Mysterio. I thought it might be Hurricane when I saw Hurricane.
Well, I'm guessing both Hurricane or at least Rey Mysterio might be in this tournament.
It depends. He still has indie dates, and apparently the Royal Rumble was only a one-time deal for him. So, but apparently WWE, after the reaction he got, they're open to bring him back full time. Oh, yeah. So Rey Mysterio might be coming back full time, but I don't know if it's going to be in time for the championship. Culture?
It's WrestleMania that championship is going to happen. So.
What culture pitched the idea of maybe they do like a Hardy Boys kind of thing, where like you have the two people in the finals of the Cruiserweight championship tournament, and then right before the match starts, you say, "Oh, we decided to make it a triple threat match. Here's Rey Mysterio." Crowd goes wild.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's right. Next, I heard about that. Next week
we'll get to that. That's SmackDown. Let's finish up the 205 Live stuff.
Yes. And so they had a couple matches to start the tournament. I believe one of them was TJP versus I can't remember.
Tyler Bate.
No.
Yeah, it was
Tyler Bate. That's right. Yeah, TJP versus Tyler Bate.
Beat Tyler Bate.
And TJP beat him to advance to the tournament. And Cedric Alexander versus someone. I don't remember who.
I can't remember who Cedric Alexander faced, but he won, yeah.
And next week we are going to have Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong,
which will be amazing.
And
Hideo Itami, by the way, I am picking as an early favorite to make it to and win that Cruiserweight Championship.
And another match, I don't really remember what, but I know it's two regulars on 205 Live for the tournament. But
Gallagher, Tozawa, Gulak.
I'd have to look it up.
Kendrick.
I don't remember.
All right. Well, while you look it up, that's basically this entire tournament. I don't know if you mentioned it, but this tournament's going to go all the way to WrestleMania.
Yes.
And the finals is going to be a one-on-one match for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting. And then SmackDown. What happened on SmackDown?
Hold on. The other match is going to be Kalisto versus Lince Dorado.
Ooh, I think Kalisto should win that one.
He probably is. I know they announced that there's going to be a number one contendership match next week between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to determine the number one contender for the WWE Championship. Mm-hmm. And they're also going to be having Bobby Roode versus Rusev for the U.S. Championship.
By the way, happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day, everybody.
Happy Rusev Day.
So is this for this is is this going to be a SmackDown match, Rusev versus Bobby Roode, or is this going to be
SmackDown?
Okay, so Bobby Roode's going to win that match. Unfortunately, not unfortunately like that. I don't think Bobby Roode should be United States champion. I just want to see Rusev win things, and I want to see that. And if I'm going to watch that match, I kind of want to see it on a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I want to see that go the distance and be like a nice long match.
I agree.
Owens and Zayn are going to battle for the number one contendership, so I guess maybe Owens and Zayn are going to end up pulling apart, and we'll get Owens versus Zayn at WrestleMania.
Possibly, I hope not.
Yeah, I feel like their storyline isn't strong enough right now where like we're ready to pull them apart and battle each other again. Like I feel like if that's going to happen, it has to be something to where like Sami Zayn does something ridiculous and like amazing, or like wins a championship or something, and then like Owens just flat out cold and calculated turns on Sami Zayn and just beats the crap out of him.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the only way it's gonna work. Yeah.
But yeah, also on NXT this week, we had Nikki Cross versus Lacey Evans, because Lacey Evans was calling Nikki Cross crazy on the previous SmackDown or NXT, and Nikki Cross beat Lacey Evans. Surprise!
Good to see Nikki Cross again.
Yeah. And the only other match I'm remembering off the top of my head, it was a good show. But the main event was Roderick Strong versus Tyler Bate in a number one contendership match for the UK Championship.
And Roddy Strong
won. He really worked on the back, so Tyler Bate wasn't able to get the Tyler driver off, and Roddy hit him with End of Heartache and pinned him. And now we're going to get Roddy Strong at some point versus Tyler Bate for the WWE UK Championship. Mm-hmm. And I keep pointing out that he's hoping to become the first American to win the UK Championship. So...
that would be interesting. I feel like more UK wrestlers should probably hold that championship before an American does, but yeah. Anyway, Cam wants to note, by the way, that Rey Mysterio's Rumble entrance he believes got the most views on YouTube for WWE, and Big Stupid is saying that he believes it with Zayn and Owens in the number one contendership thing. He thinks they might end up pinning each other and making it a triple threat match.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to know if they pin each other on accident or on purpose. Like the match starts, they both just lay down and put each other's arms on each other.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. And that'd be an interesting thing.
And do you want to announce the ROH news?
Yes. So this match, that's gonna put some butts in the seats. It was announced that the day before WrestleMania, at the ROH, what's it called, Super Show?
Yeah.
At ROH Super Show, I think it's the fourth one, ROH Super Show 4. The one of the main events is going to be a battle to determine the leader of the Bullet Club, Cody Rhodes versus Kenny Omega. The blow-off match to this last year of build-up of Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega is going to happen the night before WrestleMania. So if you got yourself Supercard of Honor, there it is. So if you're going and doing the whole like big like WrestleFest, WrestleCon, like I'm going to WrestleMania and I'm going the whole week or the whole weekend and I'm going to go to every single show or all the shows, you've already got yourself set up something nice. Yeah. And a good thing about WrestleMania weekend, because you're thinking, oh no, it's Saturday. That's a problem. What about TakeOver? Here's the thing. They normally do the Hall of Fame on Saturday. So you're missing out on the Hall of Fame. TakeOver's normally the Friday.
This last year they switched that up though.
Well,
they did Hall of Fame.
I hope for other people's sake that they do TakeOver Friday and Hall of Fame Saturday. Because if not, you've got yourself a very tough decision to make if you're going down
To be fair, me personally, I would love to see that match live. But I know if I personally were ever to go to do a WrestleMania weekend thing, I would want to do TakeOver and Hall of Fame. Because I've never been to a Hall of Fame, and I always have wanted to go.
Yeah, I mean, I would... It all depends on what the rest of the card is going to be for TakeOver and what the rest of the card is going to be for ROH. Because Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes is a big deal.
Yeah. One thing you just reminded me of, though. The tag team inductees for the Hall of Fame this year have been announced.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It is.
And you got to get the tables.
Yep, you gotta get the tables because it's the Dudley Boys are being inducted into WWE Hall of Fame. So this year, so far, we've got Bill Goldberg and the Dudley Boys being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
So it's going to be basically an all alliance. I mean, Goldberg technically wasn't the alliance, but it's going to be like an all WCW, ECW Hall of Fame, maybe?
Which should have been done next year when they hopefully do it at the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, since that's where WCW originated and that's where Goldberg's from, but whatever.
Yeah, but, I mean, maybe it's the thing that Goldberg doesn't want to wrestle again. He already did his thing, and he's like, let's still put him in while he's still, like, relevant in pop culture for what he did last year.
True. Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing.
Yep, and I think that just about does it for us.
That does it for the wrestling stuff. Yeah, I believe so. And I don't think there's anything else that really happened that I can recall.
There was a lot in general.
Raw has a new announcer. Forgot to bring that up.
Oh yeah. So long, Booker T, because here comes Jonathan Coachman.
The Coach is back, which I like. I like Coach.
Oh, I do too.
I loved him when he was in WWE. I loved watching him when he was at ESPN. So I'm excited to see him back
in WWE. Oh man,
he's a really good announcer, and he's a good authority figure too. If they ever decide to make him a GM or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Again, like I'm just happy to see Coach back.
Same. So glad.
So, I believe that's everything now. So we will make the transition from the wrestling to the video game. My ears. I wasn't ready.
You're never ready. So this week it was announced that Overwatch, starting February 8th, is going to be bringing back the Chinese New Year event. This year it's going to be the Year of the Dog.
Woof.
Yes, they have not announced much in the way of what's going to be involved. A lot of people are thinking that they might bring back the capture the rooster and do like capture the dog, like capture the flag, or they might do something different, a new mode related to the dog,
maybe.
And that they will be bringing back the skins from the Year of the Rooster last year, and possibly, well, quite possibly, new skins for this year's event, which I am very much looking excited.
I'm wondering what they'll do, because last year they did like traditional Chinese New Year, Chinese garments and outfits, and they also did things based on Journey to the West. I wonder if there are any other like Chinese myths and tales.
That's what a lot of people are thinking, that they're going to do something similar to that. But I have to admit, whenever I use Symmetra in that game, I'm still running the skin that I got for her for the Chinese New Year last year, because that was so good.
Which one was that?
The where she's wearing the dress that's red and gold. Oh man, it's so good.
May had one like that too. I think I got the one for May.
A lot of them did. The one I wanted the most, but that's because they didn't have a lot going on for this character's skin set in general, was Junkrat, because his was pretty cool. But you get what you get.
Yes. And how's the Overwatch League doing this week?
I was just about to bring it up, but apparently it got closed out.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's just terrible timing, isn't it?
Yep. But I know that one of the big pieces of news
is that Seal has lost their second game of the season.
Oh yeah, and it was against
London Spitfire.
Oh yeah.
Which, to be fair, London is also one of the top Korean teams, one of the top teams in the league, and they were expected to be a big rival to Seoul. So not as big of a shock as New York, the fact they beat them. However,
the shocking part is they swept them.
They 4-0'd them.
Yeah, 4-0 London Spitfire over Seoul Dynasty. So right now, the top three teams in the league are New York Excelsior, London Spitfire, and Seoul Dynasty with 6 wins apiece. But my God. Like, I watched the match between Seoul Dynasty and New York Excelsior, and that match was intense. I can only imagine what this show must have been like. And so far this week, we've had the Valkyrie beat the Fusion, the Mayhem lose to the Gladiators, the Outlaws beat the Shock, the Fusion beat Dallas.
Wow. Poor Dallas Fuel. They're just losing like crazy right now, and they were considered to be one of like the middle of the road, like potentially like higher ceiling teams.
Yeah. And here's a fun fact. All 3 matches yesterday were 4-0. Philly Fusion beat Dallas Fuel 4-0. New York Excelsior beat Shanghai Dragons 4-0, and London Spitfire beat Seoul Dynasty 4-0.
The only one there that's not really a surprise is New York over the Shanghai Dragons. The other 2 are shocking 4-0s.
Yes. And then today, No, wait, yesterday. Thursday is when there were the 4-0s. Yesterday we had San Francisco Shock beat Florida Mayhem 4-0. Seoul Dynasty beat Houston Outlaws 3-2.
Seoul just barely escaped the Outlaws,
yeah,
too.
It looks like they're starting to slip. Boston Uprising beat LA Gladiators 4-0 as well.
Interesting.
And then today on tap we've got what I think is probably going to be an easy win for the London Spitfire versus the Shanghai Dynasty.
Yep.
New York is going to be facing the Dallas Fuel, and
unless Dallas Fuel finds themselves, I think New York Excelsior is going to stomp them based on how Fuel's been underperforming, and Excelsior has been doing pretty much has been exceeding expectations.
Yeah, and Boston is going to be facing the LA Valiant.
I mean, LA, that's going to be an interesting one because Boston, as you said, just beat the Gladiators, and LA is a good team. But they're about on par, I think, with the Gladiators. So Boston could potentially beat them.
And one thing I'm going to point out is it looks like Spitfire and New York are going to get some wins today, in which when that happens, that will make those two teams the top 2 teams in the league.
London
because
and New
they
York.
both only have 1 loss, I believe.
Yes.
And Seoul, who is the monster coming into this, has 2 losses now. So now it's between New York and London to determine who's going to be the top in the league.
This
and
is
I can't wait to see them fight.
week 4 right now, right?
Yes, we are in week 4 right now.
The stage 1 ends next week. So it could be between New York and London might be battling each other next week for the right to being the stage 1 champion.
I'm looking to okay, yeah, I looked into it. So next week we've got on Wednesday some not important matches then. Thursday, New York's facing the Florida Mayhem.
And we'll win that one.
London's facing Houston.
Outlaws. The Outlaws could prove troublesome for London, though.
A week from today at 2 p.m., we are getting the New York Excelsior versus the London Spitfire in, the last round of matches before the finals.
Oh, wow. So if they both win out, if they win their next 2 matches, and that match right before the stage title matches will be...
That'll be basically determined first and second place going into the finals.
Yeah, going into the final.
So
going into the end of the first stage. Now, for those of you guys who know, there are 5 stages to the season. So each stage has their own championship, title thing. And then after that,
hey, you're not going to be doing those Z's when I'm on the New York Excelsior one day.
Each stage has its own title. So you can win a certain stage or part of the season, and the players get a cash bonus, as a prize. And then at the very end at the end of the 5th stage, that's when the final seedings are determined, the final standings, and when the playoffs are played.
And one thing I want to point out, the one thing that's upsetting me about the Overwatch League,
what?
These players got no charisma, no pizzazz. They're good in the games, everything. But when they come out, they're just walking single fire. I finally, when I saw that match between New York and Seoul, started to see some life in these guys. Come on, guys, you gotta kick it up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Pine's been good for New York. The good thing about Dallas Fuel is a lot of them are personalities. They've got some charisma. Some of them are pretty entertaining. The only problem is that they've unfortunately underwhelmed and not gelled well as a team and have just fallen to the bottom of the standings.
Yeah,
despite having some of the best talent in the league.
Yes.
So.
That does it for Overwatch news.
That does it for Overwatch news, Overwatch League. Let's talk about another game that I like to play all the time, that I might have been playing late last night because I don't know what I'm playing late. Yeah. No, actually, it's Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Ah, okay. That was going to be my next guess, actually, legitimately.
No, it's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG, the PUBG, as you might say. You wouldn't say because it's PUBG. The public G, yes. Those battlegrounds on the public place. That an unknown player has created for people to play on. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, they detailed their long-awaited anti-cheating measures. As you guys know, since the game has been launched in China, there have been an influx of hackers and cheaters. People have started getting banned. But Bluehole is taking action. Speaking in a story from Polygon, I believe. From Eurogamer. Speaking in a new Steam community blog post, Do-Hung Lee, Bluehole's head of service management and anti-cheating, reaffirmed the developer's stance on cheating and explained the measure it's currently taking to prevent it. Play fair and respect other players is a principle around which our game is built, said Lee. To get the full Battle Royale experience, all 100 players must play fair. This is why we have been following the above principles of fair play and respect for others since the first pre-alpha in July of 2016. However, as many Battlegrounds players know too well, Bluehole's principles and the current reality of the game don't exactly align. To address the discrepancy, the developer has established a dedicated team focused on combating cheat programs and an early version of its new internal anti-cheat solution. That is the one deployed in the recent test server patch. So it's being tested out in the test server right now with the new patch. I would say who you are, but I can't remember who used to do that. Who's Bubba Ray? Yeah, good Bubba Ray impersonation. It's planned to be upgraded steadily after the first implementation. The new solution is designed to complement already existing anti-cheat measures and will block different helper programs. Yeah, that's what it is. That will alter graphics or aid in gameplay in some way. So that means like stuff like reshade, which I actually used when PUBG first launched, where it wasn't optimized. Then once the 1.0 came out, I got rid of it because there was optimization.
Yeah.
But I used a couple of those. I used one or two of the features in reshade in order to allow myself like a better view. And a lot of people did, but now apparently a lot of these graphics programs have other ways that can change and cheat and manipulate the game world. So they're basically I'm trying to get through this, but you're just acting like such a jerk. So they're basically trying to monitor and keep tabs on people potentially using these programs to cheat and get themselves easy chicken dinners. Yeah. So that's on that. We got other video game news. Yes. That's not involving PUBG or the battlegrounds of PlayerUnknown.
Yes, and one bit of that is that a game that you are looking very much forward to, The Dead of Red.
And the second one, Electric Boogaloo, I think is the subtitle.
Possibly. It
rumored title.
It could be Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Again.
Red Deader.
Red Deader. Could be Return of the Sharknado. You never know. Horsenado, maybe.
Maybe. Anyway.
Red Dead Redemption 2 has been delayed until October of this year. I know Rockstar made a statement stating that they're very sorry to have this happen, that they don't want to delay the game, but they want the game to be as good and polished as they possibly can be, so they are delaying the game until October so they can make sure the game is at the peak of what it can be before they release it.
Which, I don't mind. Rockstar, whenever they delay a game, it's to make the game better, and the game always ends up being better, so I ain't even mad. I'll enjoy Red Dead 2 when Red Dead 2 comes out.
Yep.
I'm satisfied with that. Speaking of delays, by the way, I forgot to mention, I can't remember if I brought this up last week, but Anthem got delayed.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
that. Into 2019. And EA also announced that what is it? That they're going to be bringing back microtransactions eventually for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Which, I mean, they said it was only going to get delayed, but apparently it's going to be coming back in a few months.
Yeah.
Which, yippee skippy. And then while we're also talking on EA and Anthem, there was rumors that went around that it seems like it's mostly just speculation, but it could happen because, I mean, Disney bought Fox. Is that Microsoft, apparently, is entertaining the ideas of trying to buy EA, Valve, and Bluehole, the owners of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
So
that
would be a thing. Apparently, the reason why people are speculating is because Microsoft has like a couple $100 billion, or over $100 billion or something in surplus profit that they're just looking to use to buy other properties. Yeah. So thus why people are thinking maybe EA, maybe Valve. I mean, never say never, especially when billions of dollars are concerned, but I don't think Valve would ever want to sell themselves to Microsoft because I feel like Valve has got a nice hold on the PC game market with Steam. I feel like
they would give that up.
Yeah, I don't think they would want to give that up. I think they make plenty of money. EA, they're one of the big publishers. I don't think that would happen, but given the way that things have gone recently for them, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft tries to buy them. And then with PUBG, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft does try to buy Bluehole for quite a bit of money because PUBG is very successful. And if PUBG ever goes to PS4, it would allow Microsoft to get a piece of that pie.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like they did with Minecraft.
Yep. Minecraft.
Yeah. And then we got 2 other pieces of news that I want to touch on real quick. This one's going to be real quick. Sony's CEO, Kaz Hirai, has stepped down. For those of you who do not know, Kaz Hirai was basically the head of Sony's PlayStation development, like some Sony Computer Entertainment, or Interactive Entertainment or whatever. So basically he was the head of PlayStation for about 15, 20 years almost.
Yeah.
So pretty much PlayStation became the way it was and the way it's been because of Kaz Hirai. And in 2012, he was promoted to CEO of Sony, and he's decided that it's time to pass on the baton and step down. He is not leaving Sony. He's still going to be the chairman of the board and on the board of the board of whatever. I can't remember what you call the board, but the board of Sony, board of executives. So that's just because he's had such a huge played a huge role in what are you doing now?
I'm having fun doing different poses.
Yeah, and it's distracting. Like I've lost my train of thought. It's really nothing like too big of a news, but because of who Kaz is and what he did for PlayStation, it's just an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah. A little bit of a
he's still gonna have a significant role in the company. And then the other big news is that
it's
hey,
me, a new movie.
Hey, you remember that movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo?
I enjoyed
that when we were kids, we really liked, and now looking back on it, we were like, wow, that was actually kind of awful.
In regards to it being Mario, but in regards to it as a movie, I'm still like, I like it.
I like it as a movie, but as a Mario video game, it was kind of bad. Yeah, and it wasn't. Was it Bill Gates who killed Kaz Hirai in that Red Wedding South Park episode? I think it might have been Bill Palmer. Yeah, I think it was Bill Gates. Yeah, they did a Game of Thrones thing where it was based on the console wars, and Bill Gates comes back, kills I think Steve Ballmer, who is the CEO, and then goes and talks to Kaz Hirai and like fights him and kills him.
Wouldn't surprise me. I didn't get to see that
at the Red Robin wedding.
God.
Anyway, yeah, on to that Mario thing. There was a Mario movie that came out in the 90s. It was not that good. So they decided, hey, 20, 25 years later, let's try it again.
Why not?
But it's not going to be live action this time. It's going to be animated.
Okay, I'm fine with that. It's the same company that does Minions, correct?
Yeah, I believe that's what makes me. I mean, it's not confirmed that's animated, but it's the same people who did the Minions movie. Which, I mean, the Minions movie is no Despicable Me. Despicable Me was good. The Minions movie was,
My kids actually were watching Despicable Me 3 this morning.
Oh boy, I actually haven't seen Despicable Me 3. I've seen 1 and 2. I haven't seen 3 yet.
I have not. I've seen the Minions movie, and I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah, I heard the Minions movie was bad. I've seen bits and pieces, and that's all I've wanted to see.
They're all like banana or whatever.
Yeah, they're making a Super Mario movie. I'm believing it's animated again based on the people work behind it. But the good news that makes you think that maybe it won't be so bad is that Shigeru Miyamoto is going to be a producer on the project, so he is going to be involved. The name of the studio again is Illumination Entertainment. Oh, so maybe it isn't that bad. It won't be that bad actually. It's Illumination Entertainment who's behind it. So yes, they did make Minions, but they have made the Despicable Me movies, which are good, and they did make The Secret Life of Pets. And I did watch The Secret Life of Pets. It's actually not a bad movie.
Okay.
So I've got some hope around it. Let me see if I can find again details on Miyamoto. Yeah, here we go. Shigeru Miyamoto is going to be a co-producer on the movie, along with the CEO of Illumination, Chris Melandri. Cool. So, new Mario movie coming, guys. Get ready. Hopefully, it will be better. It's got to be better than that.
It's got to be
better. I mean, it was a fun movie, but it was awful interpretation of Super Mario.
I agree.
So, with that is the last bit of news we have for you guys, which means the wrestling section's gone. Done. The video game section is gone. We have reached the end of the podcast, and thus I get, humiliated. Are you gonna humiliate me? This is my outro. I'm gonna be gone for a month, so I would expect some Can you show a little bit of humbleness? Just a pinch, just a smidge. You're trying, and I appreciate the effort. Stop it.
I'm just putting it down.
So again, guys, that's going to bring an end to the episode. This is going to be my final episode again for a month. I will be back at the beginning of March, in the first episode of March.
Thank God, am I right?
And the show as a whole is going to take a hiatus. I'm not going to hand this guy the reins anymore. But no, DMurph will be handling things again for the next month while I'm out, while I'm in Olympics mode. And I will be back at the beginning of March for another episode. As far as my Twitch channel goes, again, I'm going to Stanford on Monday. This is being recorded on a Saturday, so I might live stream some gameplay on Saturday or Sunday, but I got a lot of stuff. A lot of adulting I got to do before I go live by the, whatchamacallit, go live by the office for about a month. By the way, Big Stupid, thank you, wow, for a $20 tip. Thank you so much. He said, great podcast, guys. He really enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much, Big Stupid. We really appreciate it. Appreciate the tip. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. I will see you guys all in a month. But housekeeping before we do that. Do not forget that you can catch Super Grapple Bros live. Every single episode goes live on Twitch. It's normally live every Friday or Saturday. And then it goes on demand after it's on. That's at twitch.tv/L_Murpho. It is also in VOD form on YouTube. 24 hours after the live stream, it goes on to YouTube. That's part of the affiliate rules. So we got to do it 24 hours later. But you can go to youtube.com/LMurphoReal, and that is where you can find Super Grapple Bros on demand on YouTube. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, let people know all about it. Then for listening goodness, you can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, other places where podcasts are found. Just search Super Grapple Bros. Do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It's even more important over there because the ratings, especially on iTunes, allow us to actually be seen and searched in podcasts. So the more reviews and ratings we get, the more visibility we get on YouTube. So we really, or not YouTube, iTunes. So we really appreciate that. Do not forget also, whenever we go live, I mean, I won't be able to do it so much over the next month, but DMurph will be able to do it. We try to tweet to let you guys know when that is happening. That is, I am at L_Murpho. DMurph is at DMurph_42. Correct?
Yes.
Correct. I knew that. I just wanted you to actually say something because I've been kind of talking a lot.
Yep.
That's where you can find us on Twitter. You can also check out my Discord server. It is in the description on YouTube. You can find it on my page on Twitch, twitch.tv/L_Murpho. You can find that we have a discussions and questions section of the Discord server there for Super Grapple Bros. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, trivia, all that stuff. You can also send that stuff via email to us at supergrapplebros@gmail.com. And that's pretty much everything.
Yep.
I've got. Take care, Joker. See you in a month. And yes, the first day I am off after the Olympics is Joker's birthday, so I might do a gameplay stream. So that's February 26th. So keep your eyes out for that for my return to Twitch. That's all I've got. You guys all take care. Hopefully, I make it through in one piece, and I will see you guys on the other side. And then I will let DMurph
to end the show. We will bring up our kayfabe news article of the episode. This week, it is Spanish announce table destroyed as World Chess Championships get out of hand. That poor Spanish announce table.
Oh, God. It never stands a chance.
Nope.
Never does. Never does. All right, everybody. That's it. Until we see you again. Peace. Deuces the deucey deuce.
Bye-bye.
Laters.
Shut up and sit down.